Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and we have a wild one today. We are heading to Modern to play Expedited Inheritance combo, built around definitely the wackiest mythic from Murders at Karlov Manor. So the idea of this deck is kind of hilarious. So Expedited Inheritance, 2-mana enchantment. When a creature is dealt damage, its controller can exile that many cards from the top of their library, and they can play those cards until the end of the next turn. So played fairly, Expedited Inheritance is pretty bad because our opponent's going to have creatures. They're probably going to take damage, or we're going to trade things off in combat, and our opponent's going to draw just as many cards as we draw. But we have a plan for this. We're not playing this card fairly. This is a combo piece in our deck alongside Marauding Raptor. So Marauding Raptor is oddly the perfect card to power up Expedited Inheritance, a 2-mana 2/3 that makes our creatures cost 1 less, but when another creature ETBs under our control, it deals 2 damage to it. If it's a dino, it gets pumped. That's not really relevant to our deck. So the idea of our deck is play Expedited Inheritance, play Marauding Raptor, and then we have a whole bunch of 0, 1, and kind of 2-mana colorless creatures, which are essentially free with Marauding Raptor. So let's say we play Expedited Inheritance on turn 2. Turn 3, Marauding Raptor. We can play a Mem Knight for free, a Combat Courier for free, a Haywire Mite for free, a Ornithopter for free. When the creature ETBs, Marauding Raptor is going to hit it for 2 damage, which means the creature is going to die, but that's fine. We get to impulse draw 2 cards with Expedited Inheritance, which hopefully you'll find is another free creature to cast. So we can do it again, and do it again, and do it again, and hopefully draw our entire deck. Mirror Retriever is the one kind of weird card in this group. It's not free with Marauding Raptor. It still costs some mana, but it kind of makes up for this, that when it dies, it gets back an artifact from our graveyard. So even though it costs some mana, it's getting back a Mem Knight. So it's a way we can keep chaining through our deck and draw even more cards with Expedited Inheritance. So let's say we actually pull this off. We Expedited Inheritance, we Marauding Raptor, we start chaining together these free creatures. How do we actually win the game? Well, the key card, hilariously, is Mere Moon Vessel. So Mere Moon Vessel, another one of our free colorless creatures, is a 1-mana 1/1, but when it goes to the graveyard from play, so when it dies, we get to add a mana to our mana pool. So this card allows us to combo off even if we're tapped out, because as we draw our entire deck, we'll eventually find the 4 Moon Vessels, we'll play them for free, they'll die, so they technically generate 1 mana, which means we can make 4 colorless mana as we draw through our deck and combo off, which means we have exactly enough mana to play Aetherflux Reservoir. And we've already played like 20-30 spells, we've played our entire deck, we cast a couple more free spells to power up Reservoir, to get up to 50 life, kill our opponent with 50 from Aetherflux Reservoir. So that's the primary plan of the deck. Expedited Inheritance, Marauding Raptor, chain together free creatures that draw us cards thanks to Marauding Raptor damage, eventually make mana with Mere Moon Vessel to dome our opponent for 50 with Aetherflux Reservoir. There is a problem with this plan though. The problem with this plan is Aetherflux Reservoir, it's just a one of, and it's kind of easy to shut down. Like Force of Negation gets it, Karn shuts it down, Pithing Needle shuts it down. There's a whole bunch of things that can stop this card. So we need a backup plan, because the worst case scenario is we pull off this ridiculous combo, we do the thing, we draw our deck, and we still can't win with the Aetherflux Reservoir. Our backup plan is kind of ridiculous. So involves Mystic Forge, Goblin Bombardment. So Mystic Forge, another way we can play colorless creatures off the top of our deck. Goblin Bombardment just lets us sack a creature to deal a damage to target creature or player, so to any target. So the trick here is we're kind of using the way the timing of this combo works. Let's go back to our chaining together free creatures combo plan. Let's say we're doing that. We can't win with our Aetherflux Reservoir. What we can do is we can play an Ornithopter. It's going to come into play. That's going to trigger Marauding Raptor to put a trigger on the stack that says deal 2 damage to it, which will kill the Ornithopter. In response to that trigger, we can sacrifice the Ornithopter to the Goblin Bombardment to hit our opponent for 1 damage. So obviously, if we do this, we're not going to get to draw with Expedited Inheritance, because the Ornithopter's not taking the damage from the Marauding Raptor, but we do get a damage at our opponent's face. So our backup plan is we kind of forget about Expedited Inheritance. We play Mystic Forge, so we can play all of our Ornithopters and Mem Knights off the top of our deck, hopefully still have the Marauding Raptor to make stuff cheaper, and then just throw everything in our opponent's face. And over the course of a couple of turns, I guess if we got super lucky, it could be 1 turn, but over the course of 2 or 3 turns, kind of just burn our opponent out of the game with Goblin Bombardment. Otherwise, Springleaf Drum gives us some ramp, Mishra's Research Desk, a little bit more card draw, Mana Base, Urza Saga, probably the most powerful lands. We got some Surveil lands to help set things up, only 16 lands total in the deck. In the sideboard, things are still pretty janky. So So the pinch of this deck is for our combo to work, we need to keep drawing those free colorless creatures to cast to trigger inheritance, to draw more cards to trigger inheritance. So we can't really sideboard out too many of our cheap creatures or our combo will fizzle. So you can see our sideboard, it's trying to do the thing, but mostly using cheap colorless creatures that also work with the combo. So for artifacts and enchantments, Haywire Might. For graveyards, Heap Dell. For control, Hope of Guriper. Spellskite to protect our stuff. We do have some answers to lands, Tron lands, Primeval Titan lands, and Alpine Moon and Blood Moon. Pyrite Spellbomb for a little removal, a Pithing Needle, and that is the absurdity of Expedited Inheritance combo. That's our deck for today, so let's jump into some games and see. Is it even possible to pull this combo off? On paper, this deck looks pretty janky. It looks pretty disruptible. It needs a lot of things. It has to play a lot of bad cards to make it work. So I don't know how good our record's gonna be, but I'm very excited to see if we can actually go infinite with Expedited Inheritance. So thanks for watching, everyone. Enjoy the gameplay, and I'll be back in a bit for the wrap up. Need some magic cards? Well, you can snag them from our sponsor, Card Kingdom, over at cardkingdom.com/mtggoldfish. We've got new tokens and playmats, and you can even get the tokens signed if you want. Check them all out over at mtggoldfishmerch.com. We are playing some Expedited Inheritance combo in Modern. This deck kind of well, we're not keeping that. This deck. So I think the rules for this deck is in our opening hand, we have to have, so ideally to combo off, we need Marauding Raptor and Expedited Inheritance. I think we can keep hands with one or the other. I don't think we can realistically mulligan into both of them. So we can turn one Puppet to Scry. We are looking for the Inheritance. That's the next piece of the puzzle. And then we hope for the best. We'll put the Steam Vents to the bottom, play the Mountain, play the Puppet, Scry for Inheritance. Well, Moon Vessel's got to go bottom. Basically, all that matters now is finding the Inheritance as quickly as possible. We would prefer to Inheritance first and then Raptor, because Raptor can die. We can run out the Bombardment. Yeah, let's just Stomping Grounds. Goblin Bombardment. Ugh, Stubborn Denial. Okay. Well, that's unfortunate. Was thinking about Meme attacking, but they could dash a Ragavan. Although I guess we could exile it and block, but opponent. Flooded Strand cracks it. This is one of those decks that a high percentage of the time does nothing, and then some percentage of the time does something really cool. Well, didn't we just put you to the bottom? I don't even think we play the Raptor here. I think we just pass. Like, just running out the Raptor doesn't do much without the Inheritance. We can get a Surveil land and try to look for the Inheritance, although our opponent could have another Stubborn Denial. Opponent gets and hits us. Down to 14. And another Brawler. Well, all right, come on, Surveil land. The good news is, if we do find the Inheritance, we can try to go off here and win. Raptor, gotta go graveyard. We already got one. That's not the missing piece. All right, opponent passes. Ornithopter. Well, we're gonna play the Courier since we can sack it to draw a card, but we are on we're on a two-turn clock for sure. And that's like, we can't really block effectively because these have trample. So we basically just have to draw Inheritance and have our opponent not have interaction for it. Down to 5. Opponent passes. Well, we're going to sack this dork and draw a card. Is it Expedited Inheritance? That's all. Ooh, it is. Oh, come on, land. Come on, land. Come on, land. Okay, well. Oh, boy. Our opponent's leaving mana up, so I'm not feeling very comfortable about this, but we get to try to combo. So Bloodstain Mire, crack it. Get a Mountain. Play Expedited Inheritance. We got to go for it, because we're dead next turn. Play Marauding Raptor. Hope it lives. Play an Ornithopter? If they kill the Raptor, everything fizzles. Yeah, all right. GG. Oh, so the deck, it's a very fragile combo deck. It is hilarious when it works, though. We're gonna bring in the Haywire Mites. We're gonna bring in Blood Moons. Couple of Combat Couriers, Mr. Research Desk. The card you can never cut is Moon Vessel. Moon Vessel is essential to this deck having a chance to win. So the combo, in case you missed it earlier, so we need Expedited Inheritance, we need Marauding Raptor, then we try to chain together free creatures to draw 2 with Inheritance, hope that eventually we draw all 4 Moon Vessels, which are free but make a mana, and that gives us a mana to play Aetherflux Reservoir, which then lets us hopefully win the game. game. So that's the plan. What else do we cut? I guess we can go down. Actually, you know what? Let's just go down all the couriers. I feel like that's the weakest of our 1-drops. On to game 2, we get to play first. Do we have combo pieces in hand? I mean, that's basically it, right? Either we have them or we mulligan for them, because our deck does not really do anything without them. Oh, okay. Well, there is an exception to the rule, which is we have a Blood Moon. We still need it to resolve, but if it does, life becomes pretty good. Stomping Grounds, untapped. Springleaf Drum. This gives us the upside of drawing a 0-mana creature to play Blood Moon next turn, which would be sweet. So if the Blood Moon comes down after Leyline, it does work. Passing. Mystic Forge. Well, we are going to Bloodstained Mire Cracket, grab a Mountain, play Inquisitive Puppet. I think we actually keep the Steam Vents here since it lets us Mystic Forge Marauding Raptor. There's the Leyline Binding. Turn 1, going after the Raptor. Wow, opponent draws a basic. And there's the Scion of Draco. We draw Steam Vents. Well, land untapped. I mean, do we Blood Moon? They still have all land types because they have a basic. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Yeah, I think we're in trouble. I don't even know if we Blood Moon. I think we just play the Mystic Forge. Urza's Saga on top. Well, we can exile that. I mean, we're on a really fast clock and we have 0 combo pieces. Gets in for 4. Yeah, Leyline Binding's pretty annoying. Opponent. Wild Nacatl. Well, Mystic Forge, exile. Spring Leaf Drum, not super helpful, but I guess we draw it. Land on top, well, we gotta exile that. Well, there's a Haywire Mite, that's something. Well, play the Spring Leaf Drum. If we can get rid of the Leyline, then the Blood Moon could actually do things eventually. Memnite. Scry to the bottom. Yeah, let's play a Springleaf Drum. Get rid of the Leyline Binding. We would like to get rid of the Leyline of the Guild Pact. We'd like to get rid of the Leyline Binding, but we can't let the Leyline of the Guild Pact stick around. So opponent stuff gets powered down for the time being. We are still a ways away from really winning though. But our opponent's deck does get a lot less scary without the Leyline. So what do we need to win? We still need both combo pieces, so we're kind of far away. We need a Marauding Raptor and we need the Expedited Inheritance. Although our Blood Moon might do a thing now. Attacks. Well, we're gonna block this Scion, or the... Do we just take it? Yeah, I mean, I guess we take it. If they have Tribal Flames, we're just dead. Territorial Kavu. Well, we need some sort of miracle to happen here. We untap, we draw Urza's Saga, doesn't really do anything. Top of our deck is a puppet, which we will play. Oh, there's the Inheritance, but we can't draw it. We can't play it, and we die. I mean, we're gonna keep it on top. The old Blood Moon Urza's Saga combo. Yeah, we found it, but it's just too late. I mean, we can try to play a Blood Moon. I guess that's our most realistic shot. Actually, oh, this is awkward, but let's do it this way. Actually, no, we're just dead to the Scion anyway, right? Yeah, all right. Well, not this time. We are trying to combo off with Expedite Inheritance, and, well, we got the Inheritance, so we're going to keep this. We have Inheritance, so we need to resolve Inheritance, and we need Marauding Raptor. And then we get to try to do things. I guess we wait on the Urza Saga, probably. We do need at least one card left over once we assemble the combo to start drawing cards with Inheritance. I think we probably got to run out the Puppet to scry, though, because we need the Raptor for any of this to matter. Opponent's going to 4, which probably means we're getting Leylined or Troned. All right, Troned. Eldrazi Temple. Expedition map. Well, the big problem with Tron is going to be Karn, most likely. But opponent only has 4 cards in hand. Bloodstained Mire. Well, we'll play a Mountain, run out the Puppet. If our opponent's playing Big Eldrazi, we might get some value just off of blocking with Inheritance out. They shouldn't be good at killing it. Springleaf Drum. Yeah, I guess we actually want the Springleaf Drum. Springleaf Drum means we can play the Saga and still Inheritance next turn. Opponent. Urza's mine. Cracks Expedition map. You know what else is going to be really annoying is Chalice of the Void. Opponent gets another Eldrazi Temple. Let's go Expedited Inheritance, Urza's Saga, Springleaf Drum, Inheritance, and see what happens. Next step, Marauding Raptor. Next step, Marauding Raptor, and please no Chalice of the Void. We can make a pretty good Urza's Saga token, which is nice. Eldrazi Temple. Yup. All right. Here comes Reality Smasher. So we're taking 5. Opponent hits us. Come on, Raptor. Come on, Raptor. If we draw a Raptor, we should be able to win this turn, which is wild. Come on, Raptor. Ornithopter. Play Ornithopter. Combat Courier. Play Bloodstained Mire. Pass the turn. I mean, we make a construct that's big enough to block the Reality Smasher, which is sweet. Or Endbringer. They really are playing Endbringer. Okay. Opponent getting in there. Well, we are going to crack this Bloodstained Mire. Grab a mountain. Make a construct. Okay, this gives us our opponent's going to get to draw 5 too, but this gives us 5 shots to hit a Raptor to try to combo. So opponent gets 5 cards. We definitely take 5 cards. Ah, there's the Raptor. There's the Raptor. Here comes the fun. Opponent gets 5 cards. Well, this should be the win. So opponent passes. We don't care about Urza Saga anymore, so we're just gonna float a mana. We'll get a Spring Leaf Drum, I think, for even more mana. Well, here we go. So we will play Marauding Raptor, and now it's party time. So here's the combo. We have actually achieved the combo. We play a Mirror Moon Vessel. It's free because of Raptor. It's gonna die. It's gonna make us mana. It's gonna draw us 2 cards. So we get a mana. We draw 2 cards. Oh, can we play another Inheritance? We can. I think we do. Double Inheritance seems worth it. So play a second Inheritance. Memnite. Draw 4 cards. Combat Courier. Draw 4 cards. So now the last thing we need to hit the rest of the Mirror Moon Vessels. Moon Vessel. Make a mana. So we cast all of our Moon Vessels to make the mana. The last piece of the puzzle, along with the 4 Moon Vessels, is we need our Aetherflux Reservoir. That's the final piece. So we get the mana from the Moon Vessels. Exile a bunch of cards. Top of our library, Ornithopter, sure. Combat Courier. Draw the cards. And then Ornithopter. Oh, there's the Aetherflux. So we need, what, 1 more mana? Can we play a land? All right, land untapped. Now we might as well just get it down. So play the Aetherflux Reservoir. Ornithopter. Gain a bunch of life. Dies. Draws us cards. And remember, we can always say no to Expedited Inheritance if we want to. So draw some cards. Moon Vessel. We just got to cast enough spells now. That's the last piece of the puzzle. Up to 33 life. And this is a full combo. This is a full combo. Draw some cards. Draw some cards. We just need to cast 2 more spells. Make a little mana. Play a Mirror Moon Vessel. It dies. And now I think we just say no. We don't need any more cards. Like, we have it locked up. So last spell will be a Memnite. And we don't even really have to let it resolve. Up to 58. And snipe your face. And that's how you can actually combo with Expedite Inheritance. I mean, technically, that was a turn 4, draw our deck, Aetherflux Reservoir combo kill. Opponent says it feels like a really entertaining version of Affinity almost, which is actually kind of true, except we can't really win by attacking like Affinity. We're pretty committed. Oh, this is going to be a sketchy. So the problem is, you know what's really good against our deck? Karn the Great Creator. Kind of a nightmare. The problem with Karn is, like, it shuts down the Aetherflux Reservoir. If they shut down Aetherflux Reservoir, then we got to try to win with Goblin Bombardment. Is it worth Blood Mooning? Is Blood Moon even worth it against Eldrazi Tron? Haywire Might's definitely worth it. So we're afraid of 2 things in this matchup. We're afraid of Chalice of the Void on 1, absolute nightmare, and we're afraid of Karn. I kind of want to, you know what? Let's bring in the Blood Moons. I can't resist. I can't resist the Blood Moons. All right, let's run it back. Well, we got the win. We got the win. That's the important thing. We proved that you can actually win by comboing. Oh, man. This end would be exactly what we want if we had a mana. All we need is 1, and we can Spring Leaf Drum, but we can't keep a 0-lander as much as I'd like to. Well, okay, 0-lander. All right, this one has lands, although this hand is sketchy. All right, well... We got the Raptor, that is a combo piece. We got the Moon Vessel, which is not great in our opening hand. Let's just start with the Inquisitive Puppet. So if our opponent plays Chalice on 1, are we just dead, pretty much? Spring Leaf can go bottom. All right, here we go. I'm pretty sure we can't beat a Chalice on 1. We can if we have Haywire Might on the battlefield, but if we don't have Haywire Might on the battlefield, I don't think we can beat it. Oh boy, here comes the Eldrazi. At least it's not a Chalice. All right, Matter Reshaper, sure. Opponent's starting with many more cards in hand this game, which probably gonna make this harder. I kind of feel like we need to Surveil. Well, let's Bloodstained Mire, crack it. I guess we just run out the Raptor. We'll just get a Mountain. Actually, we should get the Stomping Grounds. We'll just get the Stomping Grounds for Haywire Might. Run out a Marauding Raptor. Go. All right, well, if our stuff lives and we top deck Expedited Inheritance, we're off to the races. About Urza's Tower. I mean, they're probably playing Dismembers. But okay, they're playing Spatial Contortion. Well, there goes the Raptor. Down to 13. Well, now we need both combo pieces again. That does make it a little tougher. Opponent passes. Well, we draw a Goblin Bombardment, which I guess is sort of something. Our deck is so bad at winning without the combo. Like, our creatures are so underpowered. So we can block with the Puppet. Yeah. Well, I guess we should have played the Springleaf Drum. Even just finding Inheritance seems so good against this deck, because we can, like, block with our 0 power creatures and draw a bunch of cards. Yeah. So, there goes... Why is there a Mirror Moon Vessel in exile? Opponent gets and hits us. There goes the Springleaf Drum. I mean, we're just kind of running out of time, right? Eldrazi are pretty big. Inheritance? Ugh. We only have one Aetherflux Reservoir, so if that gets Thoughtseize, we're kind of out of luck. Yeah, this is not looking good. It's very awkward, too. Like, we don't really want to play these. We want to hold these for the combo. We're so far away from comboing. Maybe we should just run them out? Wow, and they just high roll into Tron. Yeah, I don't know how we... With our opponent, oh, yeah, all right. Well, yeah, that kind of does it. Yeah, I mean, that's how this deck goes. You either do everything or you do nothing. There's not much in between. You either play your entire deck on turn 4 or you play some Ornithopters and die. So this hand can do what? It can try to get out a Mystic Forge, but we only have one land and it's going to sack itself. Yeah, I think we got a mulligan. We really don't want this Aetherflux in hand to get Thoughtseized or Thought Knotted. So, like, I don't even think we can keep a hand like this, right? I think we just have to keep mulliganing. Well, I mean, this we're going to keep. We'll put Goblin Bombardment to the bottom. Do we have to put the Raptor to the bottom? We probably have to. Actually, you know what? Let's put Mystic Forge to the bottom. We'll keep the Raptor. Well, play the Mountain. Play the Springleaf Drum. We're actually really hoping to just draw land. If we draw an untapped land, we can get down the Blood Moon, which should at least annoy our opponent. Opponent kept 7 too, which is scary. Inheritance. Play the Ornithopter. We'll run out the Inheritance. Pass the turn. Well, now we need a free creature to start the combo. Oh, please don't Chalice us. They shouldn't be good at blowing up Inheritance. Okay, Mind Stone, that's not Chalice, though. Wow, we could actually, if we draw any of our free things, we can try to combo here. We might not make it, but Haywire might. Well, here we go. Tap this, play Marauding Raptor. Haywire might for free. Ding it. Draw 2, gain some life. We're starting without very many cards in hand. There's a Moon Vessel, though. Moon Vessel, ping it. Draw 2. Well, Steam Vents, untapped. Second Raptor. Draw 2. And that's the hard fizzle. Well, your go. Oh boy. I mean, we're still in okay shape for next turn. We have 2 Raptors, so I probably can't kill them both. We still need a top deck, though. Yeah, we still need a top deck. We just need a creature we need a creature to trigger our stuff. I mean, with double Inheritance, it should be, some deck thinning. Thank you, opponent. With double Inheritance, it should be very hard for us to fizzle. Wow, just a Matter Reshaper? Okay. That's like the least impactful. Come on, Magic Gods. Come on, Magic Gods. Mystic Forge. Well, okay. Wooded Foothills. Oh, we gotta go for the win. We gotta go for the win with 1 Inheritance. Crack the Wooded Foothills. So we're just gonna run out the Mystic Forge and try to hit something we can cast off the top. Stomping Grounds. Untapped. Tap the Ornithopter. Mystic Forge. Top card. Urza Saga. Exile it. Wow. Okay. I think we attack with a Raptor. If our opponent blocks, it gives us 3 more shots at hitting something. We're missing the thing that we have like 30 of in our deck, which is a free colorless creature. We have everything else, but that's what we're missing. Pound it. Takes the beats. Ay. Pound it. Eldrazi Temple. We're just giving him so much time to find a Chalice or a Karn. Please just be an Eldrazi. Any Eldrazi. All right, Reality Smasher, that is fine. If they attack, I think we block with the Raptor. Yeah, we're going to block. We have to win the game this turn. We have to. So we're just going to block the Reality Smasher. Opponent draws a couple cards. We draw 3 cards. We drop to 11. We only really need 1 Raptor to win. Opponent hits 2 lands. We hit. Yes, please. Well, there's our free spells. Okay, that's what we were looking for. And an Ornithopter on top. So we should be good. We should be good. So play the Ornithopter. Draw. Play the Ornithopter. We shouldn't fizzle now. I'd be very surprised. All right, draw. Second Raptor. Haywire Mite. Gain a little life draw. I guess we should play the ones off the top. Probably makes the most sense. Dies, trigger, draw. Haywire Mite. Draw, trigger. So all we need now is essentially just the Ether Flux. Once we find that, we should have the win. How about a Memnite trigger draw? There's no way we're not going to find it, and we have all the mana. We'll keep the Haywire Mite. Where's our Ether Flux? Where is our Ether Flux? Haywire Mite, trigger, draw. This deck is so funny. There's a Mystic Forge. This deck is so funny when it works. When it works, it's so good. Well, yeah, draw some cards, Memnite, and draw some cards, Memnite. Where are you? Where are you, Etherflux Reservoir? How about a Puppet? Puppet gives us the extra scry, which is nice. Although I guess we'll keep it. I guess we could be playing more off the top too. I mean, at this point, it doesn't really matter. We're kind of just going through the motions, really. So put the Mirror Retriever to the bottom. Draw 2. Still no Etherflux Reservoir. Cast the Moon Vessel. I mean, it's working. It's working. Make a little mana, draw a couple cards. Oh, there it is. There's the Etherflux. Etherflux off the top. And I don't think our opponent's deck should have a way to stop this. Memnite, gain a little life. And opponent gives us the GGs. And that is how you can actually go infinite. With Expedited Inheritance in Modern, and that was pretty sweet. Like, so we got a turn 4 kill and a turn 5 kill. The deck's like so hilarious when it goes off. It's really kind of very Cheerios-y or something, but this is actually like a really good use of Expedited Inheritance, and it's kind of funny, like, how much fair value we get out of it. Like being able to like block your Reality Smasher with an Ornithopter, draw a couple of cards, that's actually a pretty powerful effect. I'm kind of coming around on Expedited Inheritance not being a good card, but a card that actually has some uses, and that was a sweet win. That was super sweet. It is Expedited Inheritance time. Ooh, can we keep this? I think we can. So we don't have Inheritance, but we got the Raptor, and we have ways to do some digging. Let's start with the Puppet. So we're scrying for Inheritance, and I guess a land is also helpful. Having Etherflux Reservoir in hand's kind of awkward. If it gets Thought Seized, we can get it back with a Mirror Retriever. Well, Haymlayer Mite, gotta go bottom. This hand's not bad, though. We have a combo piece, at least. Crashing Footfall suspended. All right, so Rhinos by the looks. Oh, there's an Inheritance. We can't cast it yet, but we can play a Springleaf Drum, play Research Desk. Well, we got to dodge some interaction, but there are ways this can work. So now we need, I guess, mostly mana and our opponent not have counters. I guess we also need a way to trigger Inheritance once we get the Raptor down. Well, we know Rhinos are coming on turn 4. Can we assemble our combo in time? I mean, we've kind of assembled it. Can we resolve it and dodge Force of Negation? That's the real question. There's not really a way we can play around Force of Negation. We'd like to resolve Inheritance before Raptor. Ideally, we Inheritance and then Raptor combo win. All in one turn. So we'll probably try to run out the Inheritance. We don't really have to worry about Spell Pierce. We do have to worry about Force of Negation, but it's not like we can really do anything about it. Opponent passes. We draw. They're going to ice our land. All right, so we will activate the Research Desk. Whiff incredibly hard. Take a Marauding Raptor. Oh, that's bad news. Oh, that's real bad. We needed a land. We really needed a land there. If we draw a land, this is still kind of okay. Land, Mirror Retriever. Yeah. Well, that is the downside of being a 16 land deck. Sometimes you don't find them. All right, opponent, your go. Oh, this is going to be a sad loss just because we can see the whole combo in hand. This is the one where, you can see it staring back at you. Usually the problem with this deck, well, one of the problems is not being able to find the combo pieces. This time we found the combo pieces. We just haven't been able to resolve them. Shardless Agent for Rhinos. So is it possible we win still? Is it possible? So there's the Rhinos, there's the Shardless Agent. We untap. We draw the land now. Would have been so much better last turn. We will play the Inheritance. It resolves for now. Play the Wooded Foothills. Pass the turn. So they get to smack us for 10. The Raptor goes away. Well, I guess we just hope they don't have any interaction and we get lucky down at 8. Well, this is our last turn to be alive. So it's either now or never. I mean, they could have nothing, right? That's possible. We can't really play for them having something because if they do, we can't beat it. So not much of a point in thinking about it. Cracks the Misty. Well, I mean, we'd love our opponent to tap out for something. As long as it's not blowing up Expedited Inheritance, that'd be great. Shardless Agent. All right. I feel like we get a chance to go for it, right? I feel like we get a shot. I guess that's all we can hope for. Our opponent's tapped down, so we get to crack this, get a Surveil land. We'll take a Thundering Falls. We're basically looking for something that can trigger the Raptor. Combat Courier works. We'll put it on top. Well, here we go. Let's see what interaction our opponent might have. A Force Negation at the end of this would still get us, but we get to play, so we play the Raptor. Yeah, free spells, dead. Well, we tried. None of our cards really do anything against Rhinos. I guess we could try to bring in Hope of Gurupur. Hope of Gurupur to stop our opponent from interacting during our turn. Is it even worth Blood Mooning? Probably not. Although really, maybe we have to. We're such a jank 'em out style deck that maybe we have to bring in the Blood Moons just because, in theory, if we get lucky, they could win us the game. I feel like that might be necessary. Like, there's a world where we turn 1 Springleaf Drum, turn 2 Ornithopter Blood Moon, and that just gets them. Not a very realistic world, but it is something that could happen. Otherwise, we're just hoping our combo resolves. All right, well, we got a Raptor, we got a Mystic Forge. You always gotta have one of the two combo pieces, I think. We pretty much need to have Raptor. Ideally, we have both, but I'm pretty sure one or the other. It's just not realistic to mulligan into both combo pieces. So I think we gotta have at least one. And then we hope that we surveil into the other, mulliganing into their Rhinos, I'm sure. Well, Thundering Falls. Raptor's gonna go Graveyard. That's the combo piece we already have. We need the Inheritance. There's the free interaction. I guess there's not much we can do about that, really. Like, we brought in the Hope of Gurupurs, but otherwise, there's not a ton we can do about our opponent, like having a Subtlety or having a Crashing Footfall suspended. Having a Subtlety or a Force Negation or something, we just gotta kind of accept it, I guess. Well, Stomping Grounds, untapped, and Raptor, go. So next turn, we could double Moon Vessel to make the mana for Mystic Forge. That might be worth it, actually. Wow. I mean, that's kind of okay, right? So opponent's just trying to stall out. We'll put the Raptor back on top. We can't really put it to the bottom. This does mean next turn we're doing nothing, which is not great. Taking down the Rhinos. They pitched a Flame of Venor. Wooded Foothills. Opponent passes. Well, instant replay. The return of the Marauding Raptor. Go. You know what'd be really sweet? Drawing Expedited Inheritance would be pretty sweet. Opponent mills a land. Untaps. Well, let's see if we're facing down the Rhinos. Stomping Grounds. All right, so they have instant speed Rhinos, apparently. Ooh, change of plans. Are we going back to the sorcery speed Rhinos? Instant speed Rhinos, but at sorcery speed. Not sure why they went sorcery speed, but yes, that's fine. We had to look at a lot of their deck. They do have a million Force Negations and Subtleties. All right, free spells for days. How about Expedited Inheritance off the top? Magic Gods. All the Raptors. Yeah, this isn't good. All right. Mirror Moon Vessel dies. I wonder how we could make this deck more consistent. I wonder if it's possible, because it's so cool when it goes off, but the games in between are so bad. All right, make some mana, make some mana. We're going to try to play this Mystic Forge. It is kind of cute that you can use this as a ritual. Inventor's Fair on top, which I don't think we care about. Exile. And Mere Retriever that we can't cast yet. Well, pass the turn. Life without our inheritance. We're so poor at the moment. This is the deck, I guess, that leads to people murdering their elderly relatives to get their money. I guess I can see the impulse. I'm just like, come on, inheritance. We need it. Life. I guess it actually wow, it actually is kind of the perfect flavor of that card, isn't it? We're just like desperate, so desperate for our inheritance to come in. So we fill our time playing with dinosaurs, apparently. Do you have more rhinos? So how can we win this game? Basically, we untap, we exile the Mere Retriever, because we got to draw inheritance this turn and our opponent have nothing. It's a Hopagurapur. All right. Well, Hopagurapur isn't going to do it. We can play a Springleaf Drum off the top. Memnite, just to get it out of the way. Yeah, now we're dead. So the problem here is we have Aetherflux on top. We can't afford to exile it because that's our win con, our only realistic win con. And that means we got to draw it next turn, and we're not going to survive the rhinos for multiple turns after that. Never got our inheritance. Not that time. Expedited Inheritance time. Trying to pull off this ridiculous combo. Just once, Magic Gods. Just once. Tap land. So we have the Raptor. We need the Inheritance. That's what we're missing at the moment. I think that actually, I think it's worth keeping hands with Raptors. But I think overall, I'd rather have Inheritance if I had to choose between which combo piece to start our opening hand. Just because in theory, Inheritance can draw us cards. Like we can block and draw a bunch of cards to find the Raptor. Well, let's puppet. Scrying for Inheritance. Mystic Forge. So next turn we surveil land. Yeah, I guess we keep this. It's not the fastest, but it is an engine that can help find. It's also very awkward that we're like a Mystic Forge deck, but Mystic Forge literally cannot play either of our two big combo pieces. Very, very, very awkward to we have the Mystic Forge. We start doing things. We find the Inheritance. And that's actually fizzling. And then we got to wait another turn to try to do something. Are we getting rhinoed? Is this rhinos? Rhinos. Well, let's Springleaf Drum. And surveil land. Inheritance? No. Land gonna go to the graveyard. Well, pass the turn. So best case, next turn we draw Inheritance in combo. Worst case, I guess we try to play Mystic Forge. Wow, passing, okay. They could, well, play Urza Saga. That's actually kind of a neat draw. So we get to play Urza Saga. This gives us a little backup plan. And then I think we still try to Mystic Forge. And if it gets countered, we might be able to get it back with the Mere Retriever. So let's play the Mystic Forge. Counterspell, check. Mystic Forge is a scary card. Scary enough that if our opponent has a counter, they probably are going to use it. Ouch. All right, Force of Negation. Well, that is the worst counter for us because it means it's gone forever. Yeah, we're hoping if they had a literal counter spell, we could Mere Retrieve it. It looks like our opponent is probably rhinos. But they're a land short from winning Inheritance. We need some monies. Well, take up the Saga, play Inventor's Fair. Do we want Inventor's Fair? Is it worth it? Yeah, it's probably better just to Saga, I think. I was thinking we could play the Ornithopter, Inventor's Fair, tutor, but what are we tutoring? Another Mystic Forge, I guess? We can't tutor up either of the big combo pieces. Opponent's going to kill our puppet. All right, so we're going to exile it, make a 1/1. This does make our Urza Saga tokens a little smaller, although we can grow them pretty easily. All right, Gemstone Caverns and Rhinos. Yup. Well, in response, we will Urza Saga, make a 2/2. Opponent Rhinos. They're down to 3 cards in hand, and we got the Force of Negation out of their hand. And our constructs are going to be kind of big, maybe big enough that we're not just instantly dead. Opponent passes. We need an Inheritance. Combat Courier. Well, in that case, 1/2, make a construct. Honestly, probably Mishra's Research Desk. We really need to find the Inheritance. Tutor up the Research Desk. I don't really want to play the Raptor until we're ready to go off. Let's play Combat Courier. Ornithopter. Yeah, let's just pass. Pass the turn. So we can dig with Research Desk. Opponent, Misty Rainforest. Oh no, more rhinos? I guess that would make sense. They kept the hand that they couldn't own with only 2 lands. I guess having double rhino would be a reason to do that. All right, opponent, gonna make more rhinos. Sure. I mean, maybe our constructs can hold the fort down until we get our inheritance. I imagine you can't really attack, can you? All right, opponent's gonna pass, so we will sack the research desk. Yeah, take commercial district, I guess. Gain a life, draw a raptor. Well, let's play the commercial district, see what's on top. Memnite. That can go to the graveyard. Our opponent is getting a big scary board. Let's play a mirror retriever. Marauding raptor. I mean, we've made it 18 cards deep. So we got 4 inheritances out of 42 cards. The odds, every draw we whiff, improve slightly. All right, your go. The problem is our opponent has a lot of power of rhinos. So if we don't manage to do something relatively quickly, we could be in trouble. Opponent passes. We gain a life. Oh, there it is. But do we go for it? Yeah, I mean, we gotta go for it. Expedited Inheritance resolves. Feels like a subtlety. That's okay though, if it's subtlety, because we still have the mirror retriever. So all is not lost. Okay, that's fine. I think we should be good. We'll see. So opponent is gonna subtlety the raptor. Let's put it on the bottom. We actually don't need it. Mirror retriever gets pinged by the raptor, draws us 2 cards, gets back the Memnite. Okay, can we actually win the game here? Can we parlay this into the win? So draw 2, get back the Memnite, play the Memnite, draw 2. Okay, those are good hits. Play the puppet. The question's gonna be, do they have a force of negation? I feel like they would have played the force of negation on the inheritance if they had it. I feel like that's a good enough target that they would have played it. All right, draw 2 off the Memnite. There's all of our moon vessels. Draw 2, make a mana off the moon vessel. So we need 1 more moon vessel. And then we need the Etherflux Reservoir, but we should be able to win here. I think we're doing it. Oh, there's the reservoir. Wait, can we play it now? 1, 2. So play the moon vessel. Yup. Draw 2. Okay, we hit an Ornithopter. So now we can play the Springleaf Drum. Tap a Ornithopter. Play a Springleaf Drum. Tap a Mirror Retriever. Tap a Combat Courier. Play the Etherflux Reservoir. Ornithopter. Oh, we did it. We actually did it. Ornithopter. Up to 35. Draw 2. We just beat rhinos. We beat the best deck in the format with Expedited Inheritance. Up to 49. Draw 2. Last spell will be Ornithopter for the win. Gain 14. And throw 50 at your face. And that's how you can actually combo off with Expedited Inheritance. Opponent made all the rhinos in the world. They had the force of negation. They had the dead gone. Not enough. The combo's so awesome when it comes together. Our opponent kept a risky hand. They kept the 2 land double rhino draw. And we got a little lucky that it took them a couple turns to find the rhinos. Well, try to jank him out with Blood Moon. I guess bring in Hopagurapers. Hopaguraper could be relevant, right? We could use it. Hopaguraper could be relevant. We can use it to stop our opponent from like force of negationing us. Oh, the whole combo, but no lands. I mean, we can't keep a 0 lander, right? Even with Inheritance and Raptor, I don't think we can. This one we'll keep. We'll put a Haywire Mite to the bottom. I mean, we got the Raptor and we got some Surveil lands. And Urza Saga did some work last game, although I don't know if we can trust that it's always going to do that against rhinos. Wow, there's Inheritance. Okay. Well, Commercial District. Opponent gonna crack their fetch. Gets a Triome. Mere Moon Vessel. Hell, I mean, we're going to keep it. We actually kind of want the Hope of Gurper now. That would actually be our best draw, I think. And footfalls suspended. Yeah, let's play the Saga and run out the Raptor. We want to put ourselves in a position where there's some chance that we win if our opponent rhinos this turn. So if they just go Shardless Agent rhinos, we're essentially a land away, a red source away from comboing. I guess we're seeing the downside of the Surveillance. As powerful as they are, there are times when they are clunky in your hand. Like right now, we would, oh boy, love an untapped red source. Opponent cracks. I mean, we've seen they got a lot of free interaction too, so they could just have the Force Negation or whatever. We draw another Raptor. Well, take up the Saga, play the Thundering Falls, Mystic Forge, gonna go Graveyard, and I mean, I guess we just play Raptor number 2. Oh, overtap for Raptor number 2. Not going to attack into the rhinos, we want our Raptors. Opponent, make your rhinos, that's fine. Sure. I mean, next turn's the turn of truth. We have the combo, we got it set up, we're not dead. Can we dodge a Force or some other instant speed interaction? Opponent taking down their rhinos. 4 cards still in hand. Opponent plays a Scalding Tarn. Gets in for 8. I mean, we gotta just go for it, right? We can't really tutor up anything of relevance with this Urza Saga. We can't even make Urza Saga tokens or they just die to the Raptors. We draw the Reservoir. Well, we'll float a mana. Urza Saga, gonna sack. Springleaf Drum. Please, one time, little inheritance money, please. I mean, if this, oh my God, it resolved. Well, let's see how this goes wrong. Memnite? It can't be this easy. Wow, wait, is it this easy? Okay, draw 2. Okay, they're gonna stifle it, but it's an enchantment. It's an enchantment, so it keeps its abilities. So that's actually kind of fine. Because now we just Mirror Moon Vessel. If that was our opponent's only line of defense, I think we can combo off and win. They should have waited and stifled the Reservoir probably. Scalding Tarn, Stomping Grounds, tapped. Oh my God, they're tapped out. Oh my God, I think we're gonna win this. Are we gonna win this? Okay, that was a good hit. We make a little mana. We take a little damage. Mirror Moon Vessel. Let's auto yield to this. I mean, odds are in favor of us winning now. Draw some cards. They could still have Force, right? And there's not much we can do about it. Oh, they would have forced earlier. We're gonna go for it. Ornithopter? Gain some life? Draw some cards? Come on, no fizzling. No fizzling. Memnite, that's good. Play the Memnite. Gain some life. Draw some cards. Yes, yes, yes. Our inheritance is paying. Oh, that was kind of a whiff. Combat Courier. Gain some life. Come on, no whiffing, no whiffing. Yes, we'd like to draw cards. Okay, we hit a Memnite. We hit a Memnite. That's good. The fun continues. Memnite. Gain some life. Up to 42. We need like 1 more. Do we still have a land drop? I think we do. Mountain. Mirror Retriever. Dead. 2. Expedited Inheritance. We just beat the best deck in Modern. I'm not even being hyperbolic. Like, we just beat the best deck in Modern. If you go to Modern and go over to the metagame page, what is at the top of the meta? 70% Crashing Footfalls, but no match for the Inheritance. Expedited Inheritance time. And are we keeping this? We have the, yeah, I think we do. It's awkward to have the Reservoir in hand and we're not doing anything on turn 1 and we need a red source, but we do have our most important card. I wonder, do we run out of Moon Vessel? I think we don't. Mirror Moon Vessel's weird. It's like kind of important to our combo turns because of the mana it makes. Opponent, oh boy, Living End. Combat Courier. Well, we'll play an Inventor's Fair. I mean, I guess we play a Combat Courier. I still don't think we play the Moon Vessel. Goblin Bombardment would be sweet. So we gotta expect Living End coming in 2 turns. Opponent gonna keep surveilling their graveyard full. It's a subtlety. All right, we could really use something. Something, please. Something. Marauding Raptor. Ugh! We have the full combo, we just can't get it down. We need to draw a card. It's another Raptor. Well, we're gonna pass the turn. Well, we get back to Combat Courier. Opponent, Curator of Mysteries. So I think we need them to Living End and then we try to combo off. I wish we could get down this Inheritance. That would make life so much easier. Passing. Inquisitive Puppet. I guess we passed the turn. Not much sense in running something out into the Living End. Discarding. Oh, come on. Let us discard the hand size. Violent Outburst. Just surveil. It's violent out. Oh, okay. Well, that's good. So uh-oh. Is it good? Waker of Waves. Wow, they have a big board. Oh my god, it's still going. So we get to discard a Marauding Raptor. So there's a world where they living end and we Expedited Inheritance combo off win. That's our hope. We need the red source. We're basically we can't stop them from living ending. We just cannot find this red mana. Yeah, I mean, I guess we passed the turn. Not feeling good about where we're at. Violent Outburst, Living End. Are we literally dead? I think so. So we block here. They get to stack the top of our deck. So we block here. 3, 6, 9, 14, 18. Yeah, all right. Yeah. We'd have to jump with the Raptor. And if we have to jump with the Raptor, there's no way we can win from here. Living End A. So we get to bring in, I guess, our secret tech of Heptal. Can sack itself to exile a card from the graveyard. Do we want Blood Moons? So Goblin Bombardment's great. That lets us sack our stuff to get it in the graveyard. We'll go down the research desk. We'll go down to Combat Courier. You know what? I think we got to bring in the Blood Moons. The Blood Moons are not great. They're more like okay than great. I think they do enough. Like, we're kind of desperate in this matchup. We don't have any, like, super good graveyard hate. So we're kind of stuck trying to piece it together. So I think our best bet, luck into Blood Moon. That could do some work. Find Goblin Bombardment so we can sack our stuff in response. Or just combo off. Like, if we have the absolute nut draw, we can probably just try to race. But yeah, this seems tricky. I wonder if this deck could use some real graveyard hate. It's challenging, right? Because if you bring in a bunch of, like, Grafdigger's Cages or Reliquary Progenituses or whatever, Soul Guide Lanterns, then you're not going to have as many creatures to support the combo, so the combo's going to fizzle more. This hand has a Goblin Bombardment, but no way to actually cast it. What is this hand even going to do? We're going to play a land and do nothing. Yeah, I think we just keep mulliganing. Well, all right, this we got to keep. Put a land to the bottom. Mirror Retriever to the bottom. Bloodstained Mire. Well, we got the Raptor, so we need to find the Inheritance. And if we do, we could do the thing. The Heptal is like semi-helpful. It's not helpful. We also wouldn't mind Force of Negation. We also wouldn't mind Surveil landing a creature into the graveyard. Not that we have a great shot of surviving a Living End anyway, but Surveil. Well, that's gonna go to the graveyard. We need our combo pieces. Opponent passes. Mirror Moon Vessel. Well, Bloodstained Mire. Crack Bloodstained Mire. I think we have to run out the Raptor. And then hope to get lucky. So now we hope we draw the Expedited Inheritance and just turn 3 combo kill. 4 out of 51. Do the math. What is that, like 13%? There's definitely a chance. Not a great chance, but there is a chance. It could. Oh, is my green screen messed up? It is. I swear my camera is moving. I think I have ghosts. I don't know how else to rationalize it. Ghosts. Expedited Inheritance off the top. No Force of Negation. Well, play Wooded Foothills. So the downside of Raptor is we now can't actually really cast any of our creatures because they just die. How about it? I mean, their graveyard's not that full. Our graveyard's not full at all. I guess we could play our stuff just to get it in the graveyard. I wonder if that's worth it. It might be worth it this coming turn, actually. Opponent leaves a card on top. We can also sack the Heptal in response to the damage. Well, let's get a Surveil land. We need our Inheritance, and we need it quick. Do we even want Mystic Forge? We can't cast, I don't think so. Gotta go graveyard, we need the Inheritance. We need the Inheritance. Ornithopter. Well, we will play a Heapdow. In response, exile the Oliphant. And then we'll play Combat Courier for free. In response, draw a card. Yeah, I guess we get in for 2. So I guess that we can kind of play through our Raptor, right? We just got to do things in response. Yeah, we can't really Heptal, so I guess we just got to pass. So if our opponent living ends here, well, okay, they didn't cycle anything. So they're probably not living ending at the moment. They don't even have anything in the graveyard. Oh, come on, Inheritance. We need the Inheritance. Mirror Retriever. Play the Mirror Retriever. Uh-oh. Are they killing our Raptor? They're going to bounce the Raptor. So Mirror Retriever doesn't die. Replay the Raptor. This deck is so funny. With Inheritance, it's like the most explosive thing ever. Without Inheritance, I don't even know what we're doing with our lives. Casting Heptals and Combat Couriers in Modern. Opponent going to grief us. Like, sure? I guess they take the Heptal, but still. This does put a card in the graveyard, technically. Yep, takes the Dal. Passing. Urza Saga. Okay, that's better than nothing. Let's play the Urza Saga. This can't block anyway, right? Only blocks creatures with flying. Well, let's get in there with our dorks. Keep the pressure on. And yeah, let's just pass. You know they're going to be doing living end things at some point. Wow, Brazen Borrower. What is our opponent's draw? This is like the weirdest living end game. I'm shocked we're not facing down a living end yet. Opponent, Brazen Borrower hits us. Sure. Oh, we can't even Urza Saga without it dying? That's awkward. Yeah, Urza Saga's not as good as I... Oh, no. Oh no, and they get to blow it up. Yep. All right. Well, we couldn't use it very well anyway, but that is awkward. We draw Urza Saga again. Are we unearthing this? Well, let's unearth. In response, draw a card. Another Mirror Moon Vessel. Well, go to combat, attack ya. The Raptor is like locking us out of doing anything. It's essential for the combo, but it's not like we can just run out these moon vessels because they just die. Gonna get in with the Brazen Borrower. I mean, I guess we're sort of winning the race. After all this, with our opponent not doing anything, it seems very likely they have a Force in hand or a Mystic Dispute or something. Like, I don't know what else Living End is doing with 4 cards in hand. If they don't cycle, they're not casting them. What is it? It's gotta be, right? It's gotta be a bunch of like interaction. What else could it possibly be? I guess it could be lands. I guess that's what we're rooting for, is just all lands. Spring Leaf Drum. Oh, is it Living End time? Oh boy. So we lose our board. We get back a couple Heptals. Our opponent gets to blow up the Urza Saga. They get to grief. Mirror Retriever can get back. I guess the Mystic Forge is most realistic here. Although our opponent can still just beat us down. Their clock's not like incredibly fast, but it's fast enough. So there goes our Urza Saga again. We don't even have a land to cast the Mystic Forge at the moment. Yeah, getting 2 lands blown up by Foundation Breaker is rough. Opponent takes the Springleaf Drum, so we get back a Mystic Forge that we can't cast. I guess we pass? Like, what are we even supposed to do here? Yeah, I think we're probably just dead. Opponent. Yeah, our opponent's combo seems a little simpler. You just cast a Cascade spell and you win. I mean, I guess that's not 100% true. You also need to... I guess that's not 100% true. You also technically need to surveil or cycle a bit, but... Well, we'll block and block. I think we're dead, though. Like, there's just no... We need at least 2 things, and there's no way we can draw 2 things in one draw step. Yeah, it's an Ornithopter. Well, good game, Living End. That was one of the do nothing games. Oh, this deck. 20% of the time, it works every time. So what did we learn this week about Expedited Inheritance in Modern? And overall, the deck's not super competitive. I played 2 leagues with the deck. I think we won a total of 4 matches, so we went 4-6 overall. So not a 50% win percentage. Overall, we got to see the deck do ridiculous things, right? We got to see these amazing combo turns where we can just combo off and go infinite and win the game on turn 3. So the combo, it really does work. And I didn't have too much problem with the combo fizzling. Like, if we can have a Raptor and an Inheritance with a couple of free creatures to start the combo, odds are we're going to win the game that turn, assuming our opponent can't stop the Aetherflux Reservoir. But our combo doesn't really fizzle once it gets going, so that's the good news. The bad news is the combo is pretty disruptible. Like, if you want to stop this combo, you can kill the Raptor, which dies to pretty much everything. You can kill or counter the Expedited Inheritance, which also kind of makes the combo not do anything. And then the worst is you can play like a Karn or a Pithing Needle or leave up a Force Negation for the Aetherflux Reservoir, which puts us in a position where we might like combo and draw our entire deck and then still not win the game because you can stop our one finisher. So it's certainly a like super high risk, super high reward deck. But I will say It's built around Expedited Inheritance, which is just such a ridiculously tricky card to build around that I was actually pretty impressed that this deck did as well as it did. Like, I was expecting this to be the ultimate against the odds, like maybe we pull off a win with the deck if we get super lucky, but it turns out that it does win sometimes, not at like a super competitive rate. I don't think you're gonna easily go in like 5-0 league or something with this deck. I guess if you just ran super hot, you could, because you do have a lot of pieces that you need to put together, and you are pretty fragile to remove. The sideboard, because of the combo, is like pretty lackluster, but overall the deck worked better than I expected, and it is super hilarious when it goes off. So that's Expedited Inheritance combo. That's been our deck for today. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will talk to you soon.